Good day everyone. I am Enrico Bugorin from TBL11 and reporting about the sports badminton. The history of badminton. Badminton game began in India, which also known Pune. The game was known Pune after the garrison town of Pune, where it was particularly popular and where the first rules for the game were drawn up in 1873. In the 1860s, it was adopted by British Army officers stationed in India. British Indian Army are the main military of the British Indian Empire before its decommissioning in 1947. Badminton takes its name from Badminton House, home of the Duke of Beaufort in the English country of Gloucestershire in 1873. The Duke is credited with bringing a version of the game Pune back from India and introducing it to his guests. Badminton made its debut as a demonstration sport at the 1972 Olympic Games in Munich. Prakash Padukone, born June 10, 1955, is a former Indian badminton player. He was ranked world number 1 in 1980. The same year, he became the first Indian to win the All England Open Badminton Championships. Prakash Padukone was awarded the Arjuna Award in 1972 and the Padma Shri in 1982 by the government of India. Badminton, it is a racket sport played using rackets to hit a shuttlecock across a net. Racket. It is a sports implement consisting of a handled frame with an open hoop across which a network of strings or catgut is stretched tightly. Shuttlecock. It is the small object that you hit over the net in the game of badminton. It is rounded at one end and has real or artificial feathers fixed in the other end. Net. It is the central gameplay element in a game of badminton, requiring players to return the shuttlecock from one side of the court to other during the match. Facilities and equipment of badminton. First is racket. Racket is one of the most important equipment a player has in the game. Badminton rackets are much lighter than most other sports rackets because they are made from materials such as carbon fiber and lighter metals like aluminum. Shuttlecock, also known as a bird or birdie. It is a small cork hemisphere with 16 goose feathers attached and weighing about 5 grams. Net. A mesh divided the badminton court into two sides. A badminton net is placed lower than a volleyball net at 5 feet and 1 inch high on the side and 5 feet high in the center. Facilities. The badminton court should be 44 feet long by 22 feet wide if playing doubles and 44 feet long by 17 feet wide for singles. If the facility is indoors, there needs to be enough height for the shuttlecock to be able to float across the net without hitting the ceiling. This height will vary depending on the strength of the players. Choosing the right badminton equipment is important, whether you're a serious athlete or just playing for fun. Good equipment helps you maximize your performance and prevent injuries. Selecting the right equipment may involve a lot of work. Shuttlecock surface. Badminton may be played on the turf or on hardwood surfaces specifically constructed for sports, such as a basketball court. Concrete surfaces and carpeted floors are associated with a higher incidence of injury in badminton. Shuttle court layout. The shuttle court is a rectangular playing area. It is marked out by 1.5 inch wide lines of chalk or some other marking colored white or yellow. Service area. The service court is 15 feet 6 inches in length, beginning at the single service line and extending forward to another line 6 feet 6 inches from the net. The gameplay of badminton. The basic shots. There are so many varieties of shots in badminton. Variants of shot include slicing the shuttle, tumbling the shuttle, or hitting it at different angles with different swings. But they all have one original basic shot. For beginners, here is a list of basic shots you should master first. First is the serve, or forehand, or backhand. The lift, sometimes called a lob. The net shot, the block, the drop shot, the smash, and the clear. Serving and receiving courts as a singles. You should serve from and receive in the right service court when you or your opponent has scored an even number of points in that game. You should serve from and receive in the left service court when you or your opponent has scored an odd number of points in that game. You and your opponent will hit the shuttle alternately until a fault is made or the shuttle ceases to be in play. Scoring and serving as a singles. You score a point and serve again from the alternate service court when your opponent makes a fault of the shuttle ceases to be in play because it touches the surface of your opponent's side of court. No points will be scored when you make a fault or the shuttle ceases to be in play because it touches the surface of your side of court. The serving right will then be transferred to your opponent. Order of play and position on court. After the service is returned, either you or your partner may hit the shuttle from any position on your side of the net. Then either player from the opposing side may do the same, and so on, until the shuttle ceases to be in play. Scoring and serving. If you are serving or receiving first of the start of any game, you should serve or receive in the right service court when your side of or your opponent's side scored an even number of points. You should serve from or receive in the left service court when your side or your opponent's side has scored an odd number of points. The reverse pattern should apply to your partner. In any game, the right to serve passes consecutively from the initial server to the initial receiver, then to that initial receiver partner, then to the opponent who is due to serve from the right service court, then to that player's partners, and so on. You should not serve out of turn, receive out of turn, or receive two consecutive services in that same game, except as provided in service court errors and lets. Service court errors. A service court error has been made when a player has served out of turn, has served from the wrong service, or standing on the wrong service court while being prepared to receive the service and it has been delivered. If a service court error is discovered after the next service had been delivered, the error should not be corrected. If a service court error is discovered before the next service is delivered, the following rules apply. If both sides committed on error, it should be a let. If one side committed the error and won the rally, it should be a let. If one side committed the error and lost the rally, the error should not be corrected. If there is a let because of a service error, the rally is replayed with the error corrected. If a service court error is not to be corrected, play in that game should proceed without changing the player's new service courts. The rules and regulations of badminton. Toss. The rules of badminton states that a toss should be conducted before a game starts. If you will, you can choose between serving first or to start play at either end of the court. Your opponent can then exercise the remaining choice. The scoring system. A match consists of the best of 3 games of 21 points. Every time there is a serve, there is a point scored. The side winning a rally adds a point to its score. At 20 all the side which gains a 2-point lead first wins that game. At 29 all sides scoring the 30th point wins that game. The side winning a game serves first in the next game. Interval and change of ends. When the leading score reaches 11 points, player have a 60-second interval. A 2-minute interval between each game is allowed. In the third game, players change ends when the leading score reaches 11 points. Rules and regulation when playing singles. At the beginning of the game, 0-all, and when the server's score is even, the server serves from the right service court. When the server's score is odd, the server serves from the left service court. If the server wins a rally, the server scores a point and then serves again from the alternate service court. If the receiver wins a rally, the receiver scores a point and becomes the new server. They serve from the appropriate service court, left if their score is odd, and right if it is even. Rules and regulations when playing doubles. A side has only one set. The service passes consecutively to the player as shown in the diagram. At the beginning of the game and when the score is even, the server serves from the right service court. When it is odd, the server serves from the left court. If the serving side wins a rally, the serving side scores a point and the same server serves again from the alternate service court. If the receiving side wins a rally, the receiving side scores a point. The receiving sides became the new serving side. The players do not change their respective service courts until they win a point when their side is serving. If players commit an error in the service court, the error is corrected when the mistake is discovered. In a doubles match between A and B against C and D, A and B won the toss and decided to serve. A to serve to C. A should be the initial server while C should be the initial receiver. Let. It is called by the umpire or by a player if there is no umpire. To halt play, a let may be given for any unforeseen or accidental occurrence. The rules of badminton consider the following as lets. If a shuttle is caught in the net and remains suspended on top, or after passing over the net, is caught in the net, it should be a let, except on service. If during service, the receiver and server are both faulted at the same time, it should be a let. If the server serves before the receiver is ready, it should be a let. If during play, the shuttle disintegrates and the base completely separates from the net of the shuttle, it should be a let. If a line judge is unsighted and the umpire is unable to make decision, it should be a let. A let may occur following a service court error. When a let occurs, the play since the last service should not count and the player who serves should serve again, except for in the situation where the law of service court errors is applicable. Shuttle not in play. A shuttle is not in play when it strikes the net and remains attached there or suspended on top. A shuttle is not in play when it strikes the net or post and starts to fall towards the surface of the court on the striker's side of the net. A shuttle is not in play when it hits the surface of the court or a fault or let has occurred. Continuous play, misconduct, and penalties. Play should be continuous from the first service until the match is concluded, except as allowed in intervals not exceeding 90 seconds between the first and second games, and not exceeding 5 minutes between the second and third games.
Thank you for listening.